Well, to be Capital G here, so it looks like Konami has revealed the new F.A Support Formula athletes coming out in Circuit Break. It's going to be 4 cards, and I'm not particularly impressed by any of these cards. I think that the UA Pit Stop has potential, but it's really weird that the 4 cards we're getting are 2 monsters, a quick play spell, and a field spell. Number 1, they already have a field spell, and number 2, that's exactly what they got in Code of the Duelist. So I don't know. It feels like it's really weird, right? It feels like there's no cohesion between like set 1 of support and set 2 of support. It feels like they're trying to restart the the archetype again. And so let's start you guys off with a quick play, a field spell, and 2 monsters. Oh wait, didn't we already do that? Fuck it, we already designed the cards. Just push them out anyways. I don't know if Konami's like giving up on this archetype already, but holy moly, Formula athletes are probably Vrain's worst archetype already. Until Tentacles come out, there's nothing worse than Tentacles. Anyways, 4 cards to look at, chat. Wait, did I just call you guys chat? Sorry, YouTube. Brain fart right there. Anyways, let's go ahead and look at the cards. We have F.A Whip Crosser, level 4 Wind Machine, because the archetype is Wind Machine, 0 attack, because that's how F.A.'s roll. 1,000 defense. Obviously, all F.A.'s gain attack equal to their level times 3, so this guy is just a base 1,200. And your opponent must pay 300 life points to activate an effect of a monster whose original rank or level is lower than this card, so okay, they can still use the monster effects. Like, if they're gonna kill you with a monster effect like a masterpiece, pretty sure they're willing to pay 300. Each time an FA spell or trap is activated, obviously this guy gains a level. If it's 7 or higher, your opponent cannot discard or send cards from their hand to the graveyard to activate an effect. How relevant is that, to be honest? I mean, I guess with like hand traps, that's pretty cool, or like Twin Twister, but I think that's really only relevant with like hand traps, right? Like the maxis and things of that nature. Like I pretty much only feel like that's relevant for stopping hand traps, and hand traps don't really seem that good against this deck anyways. It doesn't really special summon that much. Next up is F.A Turbocharger. Level 6, 1,500 defense, 0 attack, of course. You know, it's obviously 300 times its level, so it's a base 1,800. Your opponent's monsters whose original level / rank is lower than this card's level cannot target monsters for attack except this one. Okay. Your opponent cannot target monsters except this one with monsters whose original level / rank is lower than this card's. Each time an FA spell or trap is activated, it gains a level. If your FA monster battles while you control this level 7 or higher card, your opponent cannot activate monster effects until the end of the damage step. So, okay, it's really this is like a really underpowered card for a level 6, man. Like, okay, your opponent can only like target this guy and they can only like attack this guy, but he's only like 1,800 attack, and you know, giving FAs the ability to like shut down monster effects is it's okay, but I don't know. This card seems like really underpowered to me. Maybe you guys will disagree. Then we have F.A Off-Road Grand Prix, which is the field spell, which this is jarring. Why would you release a field spell in set 1 and then in set 2 immediately come out with another field spell? Like, this is some Ghost Trick level shit. The only difference is Ghost Tricks have like multiple field spells. They have like 5 or some shit like that. Like, I don't think you design an archetype from the ground up releasing like 2 field spells or releasing a field spell like back-to-back sets, but whatever. And the field spells basically like do the same thing. The first effect is the same. Increase all FA monsters on the field. You increase the levels by 2 during the main phase only. You can only use each one of these effects once per turn. When an FA monster you control is destroyed by battle, you can discard 1 random card from your opponent's hand. I think that's pretty good. I think it's as good as being able to run over one of your opponent's monsters and draw a card. If this face-up card on the field is destroyed, obviously it tutors itself, or it tutors for another FA card, just like the other field spell. You can add 1 FA card from your deck to your hand. So the second effect is the same as the other field spell, and the first effect is probably a little more practical since FAs don't really have that great of stats. I don't know, it just feels really weird that they would get another field spell right after they just got one, like, you know, a couple of months ago. Then the last card is F.A Pit Stop, quick play. And it says target one FA monster you control, reduce its level by 2. So this is counterproductive to making your dudes get their second effects and have really good stat lines. It says if you do, draw cards equal to the number of FA pit stops in your graveyard plus 1. So it's a nice little accelerant, but it only really works. It works best if you already have like one in the graveyard. So second and third activation is way better. To be honest, I'm not really sure drawing cards in this deck is that good, because what are you drawing into? You're drawing into more shitty FA cards. I'd rather just draw into a better deck. Alright, and it says, during your main phase, set the turn that this was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard, target one FA in your graveyard, special summon it. That's pretty good. Like, Pit Stop is the only, out of these cards, honestly, Pit Stop's the only one that I'm like, yeah, that's kind of legit support. Like, I honestly, guys, I'm gonna be real, I kind of forgot FA was even an archetype. It's that bad. I mean, I knew that once we saw that they kind of looked like they were you know, ultra athletes, that they were in the ultra athlete world, I was like, yeah, Formula athletes are probably gonna suck dick, but for the sake of being, for the sake of decency, I will give them an opportunity. But I don't know. These new cards, in my opinion, probably not going to save the archetype. It's really weird that they have a field spell. The level 6 feels completely underpowered. The level 4 seems good against hand traps, which aren't even good against the deck in general. So I guess, but I don't know. I feel like one out of the 4 cards is good. And I think the main reason Konami revealed all 4 cards at once is because they have some common sense and they realize how bad the archetype is. They're like, fuck it, we're not gonna drag this out like we did with Code of the Duelist. We'll just give you guys all 4 of these at once. You'll forget about them in 3 days, and you know, buy the set for number 41. Anyways, whatever you guys think, leave it in the comment section below. Maybe you guys think that this saves the archetype. I think this archetype is like the first mission in one of my favorite games of all time, Dead Space. Dead on arrival. That's all I can say. Like, forget this archetype existed, boys. Move on. Worry about the rest of the archetypes in Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm like ready to shut the book on FAs.